Tonight on News 5 Live, Prime Minister Briceno has announced that he plans to retire from politics in 2030. The central bank is set to unveil new currency notes featuring the iconic figures George Price and Philip Golson. With the rain still pouring down, many are wondering what the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing is doing to tackle the poor road conditions leading into Belize City. And guess what? Philly, the rehabilitated Jaguar, is heading to the Milwaukee Zoo. We'll give you an inside look at her journey as she gets ready to embark on this exciting new adventure. These stories and more are coming up after these messages from our sponsors.
Cooking just got easier with Kent Oils, your go-to choice for every dish. Available in 3 sizes and 3 great options: vegetable, corn, or canola oil. Perfect for frying, baking, sauteing, or grilling. Kent Oils deliver the quality you trust with a clean, natural flavor for all your cooking needs. Conveniently available at stores near you. Exclusively distributed by Unitex Company Limited.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, January 22nd. I am Sabrina Daly. Prime Minister John Briceno has announced that he will retire from electoral politics after the 2025 general elections. If his administration wins at the polls this year, he plans to serve out the term as his last, marking the end of a political career that has spanned over 3 decades. So, Who will step up to replace Prime Minister Briceno as the leader of the People's United Party? And can they avoid the kind of implosion the UDP is currently facing? We asked the PM.
If you were to ask me now today, I would tell you that probably quite likely is going to be my last election. At least that's my plan, that's my hope, and even within my family. But it's important that once you get elected, in God willing, we win the election, that I don't want to be in a position where people are saying, oh, he left so much we start to plan and connive and whatever, you know, and I find that unacceptable. I have to continue to manage the party and more importantly the government the way that I've done with a firm hand, and to continue to show that I have full command of the party and the government and the ministers, and that's important, or else when I waste time, they'll fight and not think about the party or the government. So I do plan to stay in and to finish my term, and then I'm hoping that then I can go and spend time with what has happened to the UDP. They had a very small bench, you know, after Dean Barrow. Who really could have taken over the UDP? I mean, honestly, when you took a bit, with all respect with Mr. Faber, he did it more. I mean, and one of the most important things is financing, how you finance the operations of the party. I do believe that in the PUP is in a much better position. We have a deep bench, per se, if you want to say, from Francis Fonseca to Cordell Hyde, Anthony Mala, you know, and Karim Musa. So
is that your top four?
I'm sorry, no, I'm just giving names right now. I'm not by any, as I remember, I'm giving the names.
On Tuesday, we reported that businessman Lee Mark Chang has officially launched his candidacy in Mesopotamia. Chang will be going head-to-head with UDP area representative Moses Shine Barrow and PUP candidate Larry Ellis. The big question is, can Lee Mark Chang gather enough support to unseat Barrow and keep the constituency under UDP control? Prime Minister Briceno believes Chang is popular in the division, but he also thinks the PUP can capitalize on the UDP's split. This morning, we asked the Prime Minister for his thoughts on the developments in Mesopotamia and whether he thinks it gives his candidate the edge.
Whenever you have your opponent support is being divided, you know, it's certainly it gives you as an opportunity. But you're right, the Mesopotamia division has been voting UDP since 1974 when they defeated Lindsay Rogers. But it's on us now to be able to try to take advantage of it. But it's still difficult. We have a very good candidate, you know, and so I'm very hopeful that he'll be able to do well. But I mean, Larry was born in that area. He grew up in that area, so he's well known in that area. Really nice guy, and so maybe we would have to take advantage of this opportunity that has been offered to us.
Do you view Lee Mark as a formidable candidate?
Of course, Lee Mark is well known. He also lived in that area for a long time. His family, the first or the original Chosan was in the, I think it's Euphrates in that area, and so I think he's pretty well known in that area. And I'm supposing he has access to enough funding, and so yes, we see him as a formidable candidate.
With the general election on the horizon, no date has been set. Prime Minister Briceno says the PUP expects financiers to step up and fund their campaign. On Tuesday, during his appearance on Open Your Eyes, Lord Michael Ashcroft suggested that party financiers could take a vacation with their money, claiming the PUP has essentially secured a second term. However, Briceno has a different take on the matter.
Any election costs money, and I think that Mr. Ashcroft said that tongue-in-cheek because we have not asked him for money and we're not asking for money. But our local financiers, they are helping us because we have been a good government. Our economy has grown tremendously. I think the last number, I think it was like over 30.5% up to 2023, 2024, not to the end of 2024. So we have tremendous growth. and all business people have benefited from the work that we have done. So I am hoping and expecting that they are going to provide some finances. It is expensive to run a campaign, despite the fact it doesn't matter about your position, but you have to put campaigners, you have to get t-shirts, you have so many things, the TV ads, all of these things that have to be done.
In Orange Walk East PUP area representative Kevin Bernard is eagerly awaiting the call for elections. Earlier today, he proudly highlighted a list of achievements in his constituency since his victory over his political opponent in November 2020.
I'm ready a long time. I hate to see what's happening in the UDP. But I'm going to say this here, I don't think I have any challenge. At the end of the day, I have been doing my work as a representative. The many things I highlighted just now never existed for the 13 years. And I made sure that I fulfill my commitment. When I looked at my manifesto, I started to check mark the manifesto that I did for Orange Walk East, and I have achieved nearly every single thing that was on that manifesto. And that's the goal and commitment that I said. You do things and you commit to things that you know you can achieve, and then the people will be happy. You make sure that you're communicating with your people, you're making sure that they have access to you, whether it's through the office or the services that we provide as a government. Those are the things that a representative should do. And so I'm ready whenever the Prime Minister calls this election.
Coming up, new currency notes to be unveiled on Thursday.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
My name is Berlin Augustus Smith. The type of pension that I'm receiving is invalidity pension from Social Security due to incapacitation or chronic osteoarthritis, whereby I receive tremendous malfunction of the lumbar of my back or the spine, and that rendered me incapable of working. I was basically paralyzed from waist down. I've been receiving Social Security benefits or the pension from mid-2019. As I was the breadwinner, it helped me meet the necessary financial strain that my family was under. If that wasn't in place, I do not know how I would be at this present moment. I believe that I would be in much more stressful condition, and that would have even rendered me a little bit harder to cope with the restoration or the healing part in trying to come back as best as I can. Paying Social Security benefit, it has helped me cope with the financial strain that life demands. We don't know how we're going to stand or what's going to happen to us in the future. So it's always good to have a structure like that in place whereby they can help you.
shopping experience like no other at the V department store. At the V, you'll find a vast array of products at unbeatable prices, from basic groceries and cutting-edge electronics to home essentials and, yes, stunning furniture as well. Elevate your shopping journey with affordability, diversity, and accessibility at The V, conveniently located at 1745 Coney Drive in Belize City.
It's clearly documented that we have been having, as a planet, an increase in incidence of cancers. Remember, cancer is a genetic disease.
When you now look at somebody's DNA or their genetics, it can tell you everything about a person. So what we use next generation sequencing to do in particular is to look at hereditary cases of diseases.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
On Thursday, the nation will get its first look at the designs for Belize's new currency notes. The new notes, featuring images of Golson and the Right Honorable George Cato Price, are set to be unveiled by the Central Bank of Belize. Today, Prime Minister Briceno shared with reporters that these notes are not only modern, but also packed with advanced features to prevent counterfeiting.
We've seen them before, and so I know what to expect. It's a really beautiful note, and we've been using our two national heroes, George Price and Philip Golson, and we have them in different denominations. It's a more modern and with more features to prevent counterfeit in it. And so I think it's something that Belizeans are going to accept and to see, it's our people are on the note, and I know some people are saying, well, it doesn't have the Queen. Well, one, the Queen is dead. And that has nothing to do with whether the Belize dollar has its strength. Is based on our economy, based on the amount of U.S. reserves that we can. It's not the pound, but it's the U.S. dollar.
It's still unclear how much revenue the government of Belize lost during those two GST-free weekends in December. The figures were supposed to be released by now, but Prime Minister Briceno says they're not ready yet. He was also asked if the initiative was a tactic to win over voters ahead of the general election.
It has nothing to do with the elections. It's simply something that we believe its time has come. We could not have done it earlier because we were just trying to recover and to rebuild and to regain the confidence of our citizens and of the private sector. So now we felt when that idea came up, we said, you know what, it's not a bad idea, it's a good idea, and to be able to build on it. So if it was just election, we may do it last year, we may do it this year. But this is something that we believe we should do every year.
Are you afraid you would have lost more than you can afford?
Not really, because we felt that the economic the movement of what it would generate. Remember, in economics, there's this thing that for every dollar you spend, that dollar moves around 4 to 5 times. So the generator of that dollar spending in Belize, we would be able to get it back with taxes in other areas.
On Tuesday, during an appearance on Open Your Eyes, businessman and investor Michael Ashcroft announced that he's moving his investment finances elsewhere. Ashcroft criticized the government of Belize for not fostering a climate conducive to foreign investment, expressing regret that he couldn't do more for Belize. When we asked Prime Minister Briceno for his response to Ashcroft's criticism, he said that it's his decision, his money, and he can do whatever he wants with it.
Michael Ashcroft has done very well in Belize, exceedingly well. If he wants to take his money elsewhere, then he should take it. It doesn't bother us for a moment. Foreign investment in Belize continues to increase. In 2024, we have record foreign investment. So it's his decision, it's his money, he could do what he wants with it. I think, I don't know what climate he talks. I think if he wants a climate where we bend over and give him whatever he wants, that's not going to happen in Belize. we got into government, we met with him, we negotiated with him hard, and I think we got a good deal in the settlement. It is unfortunate that then Prime Minister Barrow chose the route of litigation, cost us hundreds of millions of dollars, and I think that I come from a business background, and that you negotiate to try to settle, and that's what we did with him. The port was going nowhere because the port did not get clearance from the NEAC. Then he wanted to beat us into submission and took out endless ads, and Channel 5 and Channel 7 did very well during that time, with all of these ads. But that still did not beat us into submission. We are a sovereign nation, and we decide what is in the best interest. Now he wants to take his money elsewhere, he's welcome to do so. He wants to sell at the Belize Bank, he's welcome to do so. I think people will be happy because he had been used to get what he wants, and that's okay. I mean, the businessman or woman would want to get what they want, and we welcome his investments. If he wants to continue to invest in Belize, we welcome it, but it has to be under our conditions and what we believe is in the interest of Belize. When you see some of the deals that he signed with previous governments, I mean, I remember once telling him, I don't know what these people are thinking. I would have never signed those agreements.
The government of Belize is teaming up with a Miami-based company to develop a master plan for the Port of Belize Limited. Prime Minister Briceno explained that after acquiring the port, the previous owner wanted to charge an exorbitant amount for their already finalized master plan. So the GOB is funding its own plan, which will include the construction of a world-class cruise and cargo port. But what does this mean for State Bank Enterprises?
The cabinet has already agreed. I presented a paper to the cabinet several months ago on what are the different options. A is to do a cruise and container port, and B to be able to just the container port. And we saw the options, and the cabinet felt that it's in the best interest to do both. And so we are working on a master plan to do that. The previous owners were working on a master plan, but of course, if they know they want to charge us an exorbitant amount of money if we want to take over that plan that they were working on. So it's best we're going to do our own. It's pushing us back a few months. There have been a number of companies that have expressed interest. MSC has expressed interest, Carnival has expressed interest, and other investors have expressed interest, but we're not going to do anything until we have, say, this is the plan. Okay, who are they going to be the strategic investors? There are many people that come in and said, well, we would be interested, but we don't just want to jump at it. We need to have a plan, and then we're going to move forward. So I do believe that by the end of the next government, we should have a cruise port and a modern container port.
So does that mean State Bank is dead?
That's not for me to decide.
But I'm saying that there's no sense in having two mega cruise ports in the Belize district within miles of each other.
But we all knew that State Bank was short-term or to medium-term investment. Why? Because A, the berthing facilities cannot take the big ships, and B, probably even more important, these cruise ships, they want to berth on land. They don't want to be, the tendering is a big issue. And so we knew that that was a temporary fix, and then eventually we have to build somewhere on the near shore.
After the break, Belize's own filly, the Jaguar, heads to the U.S. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
The streetlight implementation plan is to replace the high-pressured sodium lights, better known as HPS lights. These HPS lights will be replaced by the LED lights. Therefore, LED streetlights advanced optics can fine-tune the distribution of lights ensuring better coverage of the roads, roundabouts, parks, businesses, public area, homes, etc. The feedback have been great. We get positive feedback from the community when it comes to the improved brightness and light quality which LED provides by means of visibility and safety, especially at night.
Before the LED lights was installed, it was kind of dark, you know. Most of the time we did have to look and check. But with the LED lights now, you can see from far.
I like it because it's a nice bright light, because the customer feel much safer to come to the shop.
From the LED lights now that BL had put, it improved a lot. Well, the difference is that they look way far clear.
Well, I must say thanks again to BL on this one, because actually our nice improvement also, it bring up the mahogany, because the mahogany is one of the active street in a Belize city, and also I live back at Gongolong, and when I come off work, it's just a bloom. Nice for me now. When I come home at night, I can see clearly.
The main objective this year is basically to change out 16,000 HPS lights. So the street light replacement will occur at every respective zone. For example, Central, Belize District, North, Orange Walk, Corozal, West, Cayo District, South, Tancreek District, and Toledo District. We have started some years back with the street light replacement project, and the 16,000 will account for the 100% that we need to complete on the distribution system.
Bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Digi is bringing the power of connectivity to every corner of Belize with our Digi on-the-go mobile store.
Ma, Digi dia.
Digi dia. Sign up for the fastest, most reliable home fiber service, purchase the latest device, or explore our wide range of services. This one-of-a-kind mobile store has it all. Our dedicated team brings the same high-quality in-store experience to you, ensuring you stay connected with friends, family, and the world.
You guys bringing the mobile here, it's really helpful, saving a lot of money for people going from the town, especially like in Punta Gorda, which is 25 miles away from here, which will cost a couple dollars for them to reach there. So having these caravan here, it's a lot easier, it's a lot cheaper, and you know, people are taking advantage. As you can see, we have a lot of people coming out today to purchase some of these devices, top-ups and even postpaid that they're eager to have, no?
Digi is connecting Belize one community at a time. Look out for the Digi on-the-go mobile store with exclusive deals and offers in a community near you. Follow us on our Digi Facebook page to see where we will be next.
Digi, our national telecom.
Belize's very own Philly, the Jaguar, is on her way to the United States. Philly was rehabilitated at the Belize Zoo in 2019 after being identified as a conflict animal, preying on livestock in the San Felipe area. Now she's set to be transferred to the Milwaukee County Zoo in Wisconsin as part of the species' survival plan. Earlier today, News 5's Brittany Gordon caught up with the team at the Philip Gosen International Airport to get more details on this remarkable collaboration.
It's been about 5 years since Philly the Jaguar was taken in by the Belize Zoo for rehabilitation. She was identified as a conflict animal, preying on farm animals due to habitat loss in the San Felipe area. After years of dedicated care and training from the team at the Belize Zoo, Philly is now ready for her next adventure, heading to the Milwaukee County Zoo in Wisconsin. Director of the Belize Zoo, Dr. Celsa Put, shared more details on Philly's exciting move.
Over the years, our program has transformed from just removing the cats from the wild and keeping them at the zoo to rehabilitating them and releasing those that can be released back into the wild with GPS collars so that we can track their movement. The whole idea is to have jaguars in Belize running around wild and free the way they should be. However, some of these cats come to the zoo with injuries. They're injured and they cannot be released back into the wild because they would return to be conflict cats. What we do is we assess these cats, and those that can be part of the breeding program with the species survival plan are then assessed reproductively to see if they are viable.
The Jaguar species survival plan is all about keeping the genetic diversity and sustainability of jaguars in zoo. Philly is the second big cat to make the journey to the Milwaukee Zoo, following Pat the Jaguar back in 2008. Excitingly, Philly is being considered as a potential mate for Pat's youngest son, Frankie. Katie Kuhn, the assistant large mammal curator at the Milwaukee Zoo, will be traveling with Philly, along with a vet and Philly's primary caretaker.
Genetic diversity is important because otherwise you get the effects of what inbreeding would look like. So the animals can get different health concerns, they can get certain diseases a lot easier, they could have deformations in their body and how they grow from the time that they're young. So genetic diversity is very important to any population, whether it's jaguars or whales or people. It's important to maintain that genetic diversity so that we can have the healthiest population and individuals possible.
As many Belizeans know, jaguars are a protected species, and Belize is proud to have the world's first jaguar sanctuary. Philly, named after San Felipe, where she was found, is just one of several jaguars that have been rehabilitated by the Belize Zoo.
Since 2003, the Belize Zoo has been working with the government of Belize to address and try to reduce wildlife conflict, particularly those with jaguars and cattle ranchers or livestock owners. In the past, these cats were killed indiscriminately. They were either shot or they were poisoned. And we work with the government to try and strike a balance along with farmers on how jaguars, wildlife in general, can coexist with society, with farmers, with ranchers.
Philly is known for her calm demeanor, though she can be quite shy. At the Belize Zoo, she wasn't put on display for public interaction. Could mentioned that Philly's new caregivers at the Milwaukee Zoo plan to respect her boundaries and give her the space she needs.
When Philly gets there, she's not going to be on habitat for people to see right away. We give them plenty of time to acclimate. We go at their pace. We kind of read what they're telling us. So she's going to get to be in her spaces without being viewable to the public until she's ready. So we're going to watch her cues, and once she says, I want to be out there, then she will. So we'll keep the public informed on our end when we're ready for that step. But this entire process has just been one step at a time.
Philly has been training for her long journey for several months, and the team at the Milwaukee Zoo is ready to welcome her when she arrives.
The staff is pretty excited. There's been a lot of anxiety, and this is a long process. It takes a lot to move any animal anywhere. But they're excited to have a new friend for our Jaguar. I think he's ready. We're just excited to get to learn Philly and what makes her tick and who she is as an individual. The staff here at the Belize Zoo has done a fantastic job with her. She knows a few behaviors already, so the staff is just really looking to continue to connect with the keepers here so that we can continue that training and her care at our zoo.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Belize has reported its 5th case of New World screwworm, just under a month after the first case was identified in the Toledo district. The News 5 has confirmed that 4 of them were discovered in cattle and the 5th in a dog. With the cattle industry being one of the largest contributors to Belize's exports, there are concerns about the potential impact if infections aren't contained. However, Prime Minister Briceno reassures everyone that there's no need to worry. Protocols have been put in place and Mexico is still accepting cattle from Belize.
It is expected, it's expected. It's not something, we never bring the screwworm. It's a stupid mistake that was done in Panama when they released the insects that become, it was not sterile, the ones that they released in error several years ago. in Panama, and that's then started progressively coming to us. And I believe that they were not. I don't think they put enough effort to stop it back then, which could have, but now it's here. But we're trying our level best to control it as best as we possibly can. What's important is that we've already worked out a protocol with the Mexicans on how to export our cattle, because this is not something that, how could I put it, it like spread because it affects the meat in the sense that we get kind of illness. What happens in this case is that if you see the animal with the screwworm, you cure it. And once you do 5 days later, 6 days later, it's a healthy animal. You could take it. So the plan is that we have a corral area where we inspect the animals in Belize, and then it's gone over to Mexico, to the Mexican side, and they inspect it. If they see any animal with any signs of screwworm, then they send it back to Belize and we cure it. And 5-6 days later, we could send it back.
The Briceno administration is pouring $2 million into fixing the sugar roads up north. As we reported, many of those roads are in terrible shape due to weeks of relentless rain. Repair work has already started, but the weather is still causing delays. Today, Prime Minister Briceno announced that on top of the $1 million already set aside for road repairs, the government has earmarked an additional $1 million. Besides the awful road conditions, the quality of sugarcane has significantly deteriorated over the years, leading to a drop in sugar production. Here's what Prime Minister had to say about these issues.
Yes, we have the support of the cane farmers. We've done very well for them. If you remember, the previous government used to give them $400,000. What we have done, we have signed a contract in December, but we can't control the rain. It's been raining since October, virtually non-stop. And the only way we could fix these roads if it gets dry. And they know that. But of course, they're impatient, and I understand the impatience. What we have done, we have put in another $1 million on top of what we have already signed. So I think it's probably going to be about $2 million. We've never put that kind of money. So, and they know that, and they're working with us. But even the factory is not going well for them, because the sugar, the cane that we're bringing in has too much water. The water content is so high, so the tons of cane for a ton of sugar is way too high. If I use that, then people don't know what to talk about.
Yes, sir.
So when usually we have about 9 tons of sugar, of cane for 1 ton of sugar, we're about 18 tons of cane to 1 ton of sugar. The amount of mud that comes into the system, it's wrecking up the equipment of BSI. So who knows? Maybe we should have held back even a bit more for conditions to change.
When we return, major upgrade of portion of Philip Wilson Highway to begin.
Energy powers our lives, and now we're powering a sustainable future together. This January 27th and February 3rd at 7:30 p.m., tune into the Energy Exchange Show, your guide to understanding Belize's journey towards sustainable energy. From solar power to electric mobility, learn how we're creating real solutions for everyday Belizeans. With topics like e-mobility and licensing regime, this show is designed to answer your questions about Belize's energy transition. Join us to see how we can all play a role in building a brighter, cleaner Belize.
waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connections. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
Coming up, these chefs and mixologists produce their creative best for their biggest party yet. This steel band has been making a difference for over 40 years. An island filled with beauty, a vibrant culture, and an iconic natural attraction. Now, where can this be? It's all next on this station.
The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing is gearing up to upgrade a significant stretch of the Philip Golson Highway from mile 8 to 24.5. This ambitious project, set to last 30 months, will bring the highway up to international standards. After securing funding from the Central American Bank for Economic Development, CABE, in Taiwan in 2023, the contract was awarded to Tycrobe & Sons for $44 million. Construction is slated to begin next month. News 5's Marian Ali has more on the scope of this extensive project.
Chief Engineer Evondel Moody shared that the Philip Golson Highway project, covering miles 8 to 24.5, will involve a complete overhaul of the highway. Several new features will also be added as a part of this extensive rehabilitation.
We will be widening the road to an international standard, including shoulders. The section between Ladyville and Lord's Bank will be transformed into a boulevard to accommodate the amount of traffic that we have within that corridor. We will also be doing significant drainage improvements within the Ladyville area because that area is usually inundated by floodwaters throughout the years. And so we will be incorporating some new line drains within that section. And these will be covered line drains that will be utilized as sidewalks as well on both sides of the carriageway, in an effort to improve road safety as we traverse through the Ladyville and Lord's Bank community.
Moody assured that safety will be a top priority in the design.
A number of accidents have occurred within that section of our highway, and so we want to do our best to try and improve road safety within that corridor and for the entire length of the project as we move along. To do that, we have to improve a number of the junctions that we have in place right now. So under the project, we will be constructing 4 new large diameter roundabouts, commencing with one at the airport access road for the Golson Highway Junction. We'll be having a second roundabout at Lord's Bank Junction, and then a third at the Boral Boom Junction, and then the fourth one will be at the Old Northern Highway intersection with the Philip Golson Highway. Those are major junctions for us that have always created problems in terms of accidents because of speeding and people not abiding by the traffic signs.
We caught up with Michael Farrell, a motorist, to get his thoughts as he navigated that stretch of the highway today.
The infrastructure is there. It is there on all the roadways, but the drivers and them, the more road they have, the more crazy they drive. So having the infrastructure, you need to have police on the road with the guns that they say they already have. Bring it out, bring out the speed guns. Vehicle on the road that need to be off the road, people need to have a vehicle up to par.
The project will also include several secondary junctions connecting to the existing highway, like the one at Los Lagos. Additionally, over 50 culverts will be installed to enhance the road's climate resilience and help it better withstand flooding. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
So what about those pesky potholes that are turning into craters at the northern and western entrances to Belize City? Chief Engineer Moody explained that the ministry has been battling the frequent rains to get those repairs done. A particular trouble spot is the section of the Philip Golson Highway between the Hullover Bridge and Biltmore that breaks up every few years due to the unstable ground underneath. Moody mentioned that until they can secure the hefty funds needed to drive piles into the earth to stabilize it, they'll have to keep up with continuous corrective work.
The maintenance crew is out doing those works, but we need to deal with the weather as well in carrying out our work successfully. The idea is to try and see how best we could garner funds to do the piling foundation for that section of the highway, because I think I've mentioned before that will continue to settle as time progresses because of the amount of peat that we have underlying the pavement surface there. And so what we're doing as a ministry is just corrective measures, but that's only on a temporary basis because that is not a long-term solution to fixing the problem. The long-term solution is for us to pile the carriageway, similar to what we have done to the approach of the bridges, and also the piling that we've done to the roundabout near the Benny's apartment. Once we could get funding to do that, then we would have a long-term solution to solving that consolidated problem that continuously bothers us. But until such time, we'll have to just do the regular maintenance that the MIDH is doing.
On his first day in office, President Donald Trump signed a flurry of executive orders, many of which will directly and indirectly impact Belizeans. One notable order will temporarily halt U.S. aid to foreign countries until certain policies are revised. We asked Prime Minister Briceno how he thinks this order will affect the financial support Belize receives from the U.S. He was also asked for his thoughts on the appointment of a U.S. Chargé d'Affaires instead of an ambassador.
We do not get a lot of financial assistance from the United States. What we just was we were awarded and signed a compact with the Millennium Challenge Corporation, the MCC. The MCC is a private entity, it's not a government, but it's an entity that's funded by the U.S. government. So when we signed a compact with us, that money has already been set aside. So I believe we'll be fine, that we'll still have access to that money. Now whether the MCC will get more funding for signing other compacts with other countries, well, I hope it could be worked out, because I think MCC is doing some good job. They've done a great job all over in different countries, and we're excited to continue to work with them on education and energy.
Should we be offended that we are now with a chargé and not an ambassador?
Well, that's for their country to decide. We've had chargés before. I'm told that Bahamas from about 2012 did not have an ambassador. And finally, I think Herschel Walker, the football player, has been nominated to be ambassador. So it's up to them. We hope that they put an ambassador. And I'm sure that the people that are close to Donald Trump could realize that there's an opening to come to Belize.
The 47th President of the United States has announced plans to invade Panama and take control of the Panama Canal, a crucial shipping route connecting the Caribbean Sea to the Pacific Ocean. Prime Minister Briceno has made it clear that Panama is a sovereign nation and has Belize's full support.
I don't think that will not happen. I don't see the United States invading Panama to take over the canal. It's good politics, it sounds good for him to see, but I don't think he will go through with that. And our support is 100% with Panama. Panama is a sovereign country, and the canal belongs to Panama.
Up next, PM supports limitations placed on Starlink Belize.
La formación del Centro Neurológico del Hospital Galenia es que esas enfermedades que son altamente complejas y que muchos de nuestros pacientes tenían que emigrar hacia otra parte de la República u otra parte de México, ahora puedan ser atendidos aquí.
La atención quirúrgica en el centro neurológico se forma dentro de un grupo multidisciplinario que incluye tanto neurólogos, médicos internistas, ortopedistas, neurocirujanos, pediatras. Y este esfuerzo que se ha realizado para conjuntar todos los especialistas es para siempre brindar al paciente un abordaje multidisciplinario y transversal. Evidentemente, mientras más rápido podamos llegar al diagnóstico de los pacientes, más rápido podemos tratarlos, resolverlos y por ende mejor resultado vamos a tener al final. Entonces creo que la prioridad y el fundamento principal de un proyecto como este es justamente eso, que no se pierda tiempo de forma innecesaria para poder al final del día llegar al mejor de los resultados con un tratamiento completo, integral y oportuno. Y las visiones desde diferentes perspectivas nos permiten tener pues el mejor tratamiento y la mejor opción para el paciente.
Tenemos la capacidad técnica, operativa, profesional y la infraestructura de poder establecer una atención neurológica de alta calidad.
This is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connections. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez, Brittany Gordon. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
The Public Utilities Commission, PUC, has put the brakes on Starlink Belize's operations by denying its application for a class license. The company had hoped to provide fixed and mobile broadband internet across the country. With this restriction, Starlink services will now be limited to unserved or underserved areas, vessels and aircrafts under Earth station in motion, and during natural disasters when other providers can't deliver emergency services. Today, Prime Minister John Briceno explained that this decision was made to protect Belize's local internet providers like BTL.
What has happened is that, remember, we, Belize, our citizens have made an investment of over $610 million in BTL. And we need to try to find how best we find that balance. We also have another telecom. We have the cables providers. And it would be, it's the competition, you know. Yeah. We can't fight this the wealthiest man on earth. Yeah. So we have been encouraging Starlink to get to have resellers, work with BTL, work with Smart, work with the cable companies, but they want it all. They want it all, and we can't allow that. And many countries have had many problems by allowing Starlink to just come in an open competition because they've been running out many companies out of the politics. So what we have been doing, what we have, the PUC's position, which I support, is to say, whilst we're not giving them an open license per se, we would allow that a citizen would come and say, yes, we've been doing that forever. That, we want a satellite dish or whatever, back then you get a license and a permit to be able to do that. So what they're saying, if you come and you are living deep in the bush and then you do not have access to this, to internet services, and you want to bring it in, they will approve it. So I think that the best compromise.
Today, our newsroom received a complaint that a mother and child were turned away earlier this week from receiving medical attention at the Belize Medical Associates Clinic on Regent Street. The Port Loyola resident had gone to the NHI facility for medical help because the Port Loyola Health Center is closed for repairs. However, the downtown clinic was reportedly overcrowded and they were denied assistance. News 5 reached out to BMA National Health Insurance and the Ministry of Health and Wellness for a response and clarity on the matter. Both NHI and Medical Associates explained that in emergency situations, no health facility would deny treatment. However, for other services, there are specific facilities that people need to go. News 5's Marian Ali reports.
A complaint by a mother of a young child that her baby was denied medical treatment at a privately run facility that offers NHI services has been flatly denied by the facility and NHI. The report is that the mother was turned away amidst a crowd that was waiting to see a doctor. The mother, a resident of Port Loyola, had gone to the downtown facility because the Port Loyola clinic had been temporarily closed for repairs. But both the privately run clinic and NHI have said that their investigation of the incident has revealed something different. Dr. Victor Rosado is the chairman of the Belize Medical Associates Board of Directors.
This was a woman a patient from Port Loyola Health Center who called us to see if we can read her results at BMA Southside NHI clinic. And I think you have knowledge of how the NHI clinics work. You need to be registered with that clinic. And so my manager has told you that patient was told she should go to more than likely Matron Roberts because the ministry had closed down the Port Loyola clinics. You're not registered and you go in with results from another clinic. Because everything is computerized, it will be very difficult for them to give you proper service. These patients need to be seen within the public system if they are not registered under NHI. If they are registered under NHI, then they need to go to their NHI clinic.
We reached out to Dr. Ramon Figueroa, the General Manager for National Health Insurance. He explained further how the NHI system operates.
If you're registered with Matron Roberts, really all your information is at Matron Roberts, and you should be seeking attention at Matron Roberts. You can request a transfer to one of the other clinics because that's the way it functions. We need to have the information on the registered members so that we can track the use of all the referrals for labs, pharmacy, and so on. Port Loyola is a registered provider under Matron Roberts. So if you are registered at Port Loyola, you literally are registered at Matron Roberts. So your preferred provider is Matron Roberts. And that should have been explained to them.
Dr. Rosado emphasized that if it had been an emergency instead of just a lab result request, BMA would have had no choice but to step in and help.
BMA would never turn away someone who, like I said, is in an emergency situation. All health facilities, I believe that is in the Hippocratic Oath, that nobody will be turned away in event of an emergency.
Dr. Melissa Musa, the Director of Public Health and Wellness, told News 5 that the Ministry of Health is committed to making sure that everyone gets the primary medical care they need, even if they are not registered with NHI.
We're rolling out the national health insurance. And in this rollout, more and more people are able to register for national health services. And so what we are saying at this point is that if you are registered at any provider, so there are numerous providers in the Belize district, you should attend to those clinics that you are registered at. If you are in that 30% that you're not registered as a provider, we do have Matron Roberts and we have Cleopatra White. So Matron Roberts is what we call a dual facility. So we see registered national health patients registered for that service, and we have patients who are not eligible for that service and are seen as well and provided with care, medication, labs, whatever else is needed at Matron Roberts. Now, Cleopatra is solely a government facility. We have not, we're not purchasing any, we're not selling any services through NHI. So anybody not registered at any NHI facility, they're free to come to Cleopatra White for care as well.
Dr. Musa shared that the Port Loyola Clinic offers both outpatient and mental health services. She assured that patients needing these treatments will soon have access to them again.
In the near future, we will more than likely team with the Welcome Resource Center, which is run by the Mental Health Association. We've met with them. They have a building on the end of Vernon Street, a very nice building, and we're able to put our resources together and provide even better care for the community who suffers with mental illness.
Dr. Musa mentioned that contractors are currently evaluating if the Port Loyola Health Center can be repaired or if they'll need to construct a brand new facility. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.